Hello, this is Fence Walker, and I'm gonna make a pot video. For the past several months, I've been digging through this bag full of mostly male cannabis. The grower wanted to throw it out, and my friend said, hey, I might know someone who might want to try to use it. And I've been using it for about 6 months at least. I dried it out and still had other stuff, but this is a bag of twigs. Now, I've saved all the twigs ever since I started, so that is not just for today. What I do is I turn it into a powder, and I put 5 or 6, usually 5, scoops into this muffin tin, and I make muffins with it. That's a filter to filter out for the powder. I usually just put it over this. And this is my blender full of cannabis. It is a Montel Williams blender, which he calls it something else, an emulsifier or something. And you can see I've got it pretty much packed to the brim. I've stuffed it in pretty good, and now I'm going to blend it. It's going to become more or less a powder like that, but there will still be some twigs left in this thing, which I frequently just throw back into the blender, although some of it could probably be thrown away. So anyways, I'm going to continue this video once I've blenderized this. It'll only take a few minutes. I'll show you the powder and what's in the strainer. Bye bye. Okay, I've just blended it. There's a lot of loose powder at the top. I'm going to try to rescue as much of that as possible. Otherwise, I'll just wipe it on my fingers and lick it up. It tastes nasty, but it's medication. So I blended it, and obviously it gets shrunk down quite a bit. It used to be up to here, so a lot of it was empty space. And I can't quite see it, but hopefully you can. That's the pot, the powdered pot, which I'm about to blend or filter into this. A little hint, don't fill this thing up, because you're going to get refuse that won't go through. So I still have like that much left. I recommend doing it piecewise. You can still manage to find a decent bud in there, but that's why I put it back in there when I've got refuse here. Okay, so I've gotten everything out of the blender, and this is the refuse I have left. I picked out some twigs, threw it in there, and there's still actually some kind of buddy stuff in here, and that's why I just dump it back into there. So that's what I've got now, and this could probably last me 2 weeks. If I put there's probably about 10 heaping spoonfuls in there. So 5 go into here with my muffin mix, and I understand you want it at 350, not 400. 400 will kill off a lot of the pot. Not every bit of it, but enough to not do it at 400. So do it at 350. My muffin mix says 40 minutes. So if you got something that has different times for different temperatures, that would be helpful. So I would also recommend wearing gloves. I got some green on my fingers. This is after I licked it off. So it's It's going to affect me, but not a tremendous amount. But I'll tell you, that first muffin that I have is always really, really good. And another little Stony comment. It's pretty dirty in there, but that's all medication. So what I do is I don't clean it. I just put the leftover back in and I save it until next time. Eventually I'm going to need to wash it, but when it gets cooked at 350, it should kill off anything that we don't want in there. So this here is 5 heaping spoonfuls. What I mean by heaping spoonful is like that. So it's quite a lot. But I've got 5 in there. That should be enough for each muffin. There will be 9 muffins I cut this into, and each muffin will last me a good day. Okay, let's focus. Here's my muffin mix, and the pot is underneath. If we can find it. Oh, there we go. There's some of the green in there. Now, this whole batch will get really green. There it goes. As I mix it in. I do put in a little bit of extra water, and sometimes I let it go an extra minute or a few. I'll turn the oven off at 40 minutes or about that, and then I'll just leave this in the oven and that way it gets the extra cooking time that I think it might need, because there is extra powder and I'm putting extra water in it. Sometimes I put a little olive oil into it and it seems to make it moister longer, because I'm going to be eating this over a full week and the last one gets a little crusty, so be forewarned. Okay, so this is pretty green. The little red chunks are chunks of cranberry, because that's the kind of muffin mix I got. I didn't really get any on my thumb. I got some on my fingers, and there's a little bit left on the fork. I try to scrape as much into there as possible. I will eat what's on this fork. It will not affect me terribly, but again, it's part of the thing that makes the first muffin pretty strong. So that's why I always pick the smallest muffin out of whatever I cut. They're not always equal. So that's my update. I'll probably be baked, not just literally, not figuratively, by the time I continue this video. Okay, here we go. Finished baking this. It was probably done 10 or 15 minutes ago, but I just turned that off and let it sit. I am a little bit relaxed. I was able to have a bowel movement, so possibly that other stuff has affected me, but I'm certainly not stoned. I'll be cutting off a piece and showing you what my example is.